It is in March of 2025, and there is a lot of things that needs to be done before everything starts to grow and blooming. Right now, the plan is to get some seeds started, get the beets in the ground, and refresh the strawberry patch. And of course, the cats are going to help. Nothing gets done around here without their supervision. First things first, soil is done, now it's a seed time. The toughest decision now is narrowing down what we actually want to grow this season. Some seeds prefer to germinate in water, while others do better on the surface of moist soil. We had a lot of empty water bottles, and we're reusing them as planters for our new seeds. But first, it needs to be prepared. We are poking holes in the bottom for drainage and cutting a cup on top to help retain moisture, like a mini greenhouse. We're going to cut it later when plants are growing to poke through the ground. Now it's time to fill the bottles with soil. Based on our experience in the previous years, it's actually better to pack the soil a bit more firmly. If it's too loose, it tends to shrink as it settles and can damage the roots. We label each container with the name of the plant. In the past, we wrote it on the top cup, but once we cut it off, we lost track of what was what. So don't repeat our mistakes. We already made it for you. Let's take a step back for a moment. After placing seeds in the water, we move them to the laundry room. In the winter, it's a warmer spot in the house, perfect for germination. We check on them every day to see which ones have started to sprout. I water them very gently because in the past I've learned that using too much pressure from a spray can actually push the seed right out of the soil. A soft touch works best. It's such a joy to watch the plants growing. They really like little living creatures, each with their own rhythm and personality. Last year, we collected a bunch of beets, as you can see. As you probably already know, we are originally Russians, and we are using them a lot for borscht. It's a purple soup that you probably already know. And we're also using them for a lot of different salads or even a juice. So let's plant a bunch for this year. Most of you can reduce this step, but for us, it's necessary. We have raspberries grown right next to this green bed, and we need to make sure that we're taking all of their sprouts before planting anything else. We found a leftover bag of manure from last year and thought, why not put it into good use? So we decided to mix it into the soil to give our plants a little extra boost. And look what I found! One of the biggest worms I ever seen in our yard. It's almost the size of my finger. That's a good sign the soil is alive and healthy. Prep work is done. It's time to move forward. This is something Val came up with to save us time. Before we used a string, and Val would mark a rose by screwing a few screws and attaching the thread. But this little invention makes things much quicker. So it still makes two people to do the job right. Beets are one of those seeds that don't need soaking, so we plant them straight into the ground, easy and fuss-free. Process is simple, but wow, it's time-consuming. Patience is definitely part of the job. Two pairs of hands are always better than one. And here's Aurora helpful adding a few extra holes for us to plant more beets. At least that's my assumption. It's been a long day, and we are nearly finished, but there is one last thing in the list: protecting everything from the cats. Another day, another task. Alpine strawberries are on the list today. And here's our official cat instructor, already on duty under the bush. First, we are removing the overgrown bushes. We'll clean them up and split them later, but for now, we need this place to be empty. Here is my attempt to brush them off. Yeah, that was pretty much a waste of time. You know what? Before we start working on the strawberries, let's get their bed prepped and ready. And here's another cat inspection. To me, she looks very pleased with our work. It was a nice warm day, so we decided to take advantage of the weather and move our plants outside. Our flowers usually stay inside all winter, but when spring arrives, we start putting them outside to help them adjust to the Colorado sun. This plastic cover is another feature we decided to try this year. It's actually made by ironing together a couple of heavy-duty trash bags. We are using it to help keep water from escaping, which is especially important here in Colorado. Plus, it protects the strawberries from tree roots that are always hungry for water. Mulch is the first thing we add to the bed. Last year, we put in a bunch of wood branches, and as time has shown, they've almost completely rotted down. The next step is to drain the excess water. If we skip this part, the strawberry beds will turn into a swamp. Val simply uses a screwdriver to poke holes a couple of inches above the bottom of the plastic bag. And he's doing it in all four corners. By this point, we made quite a mess. So now we're trying to collect and save as much of this rich black soil as we can. We grow our garden with minimum investment. We mostly buy soil for seedlings, not for the garden bed themselves. This particular mix is compost, our native pure sand, and store-bought soil. You can see how dark and healthy it looks, so no waste here. It's all going back into the garden bed. These are the horse manure leftovers you saw in our last video. We're using them here to add nutrition back into the soil, since it will lose some as the mold breaks down and composts over time. Once the beds are filled with soil and the drip system is back in place, we're finally ready to give our strawberries a new home. Our Alpine strawberries bushes are a few years old now, probably more than just a couple. From our experience, the best results come in the second year after you split them. In the first year, they focus on the growing strong roots, but in the second year, they really take off. You will get more berries than ever. By the third year or so, the main bush produces so many new sprouts that things get overcrowded, and that starts to affect how many berries you ended up with. You may notice that fellas planting the strawberries is slightly raised above the ground, and yes, there is a reason for that. From past experience, we've learned that when you add anything to the bottom of the green beds, like wood branches, compost, or even last year's leaves, the soil tends to sink over time as those materials break down. By planting a little higher, we help the strawberries stay at the right level, even after the soil settles. The only thing left is to fill the gaps between the bushes, and we are done. That's it for this episode. One more Alpine strawberry bed is done. We've still got 2 more to go, plus 4 more beds for regular strawberries. We'll be finishing those off camera, but feel free to stick around and enjoy some behind-the-scene moments at the end of the video. I hope this video was useful for you. If it was, feel free to like, comment, leave any questions you may have, subscribe to the channel. We'll be happy to see you again. Tiger, ew! Tiger, why did you cover boards with poop? Tiger, why did you poop on the board? Tiger! Whose fault is that? Who made the mess?
Let's make another bucket and I'll stand
And to pour it on yourself?
I'll stand like this and pour it in the front of me.
No, how about this shot? Poop bodies are falling and camera slowly rises up, and then there's your legs.
Let me sit like this and level it up and then smack.
And then I'm going to shoot from that side, and there's a camera slowly goes up, and you see board with the poop, and then Vale's butt plug right on one of them.
Well, it's a good idea. And you look and up and up and up and one leg like.
Yeah, that's the look.
I got it all over me.
No way! You splashed it so beautifully, it was like all over everybody.